The training facility burned behind them. They hadn't meant to set it on fire, but sometimes gasoline, gunfire, and fury have a mind of its own. The flicker of flames lit the night as Luca guided Olivia into the passenger seat of a black SUV he'd stolen off some unlucky dock worker. Her wrists still ached, her head still throbbed, but her eyes were steady. No fear, no hesitation, just choice. Luca slid behind the wheel, breathing hard, knuckles white on the steering wheel. "We can't go back to the city," Olivia said softly. "He'll have the task force spinning the story already." "He'll make you look like a traitor," Luca replied. His jaw tightened. "He'll make me look exactly like what they always thought I was." Olivia turned toward him. Her voice didn't shake. "Then we proved them wrong." He let out a slow breath, something like relief, something like awe. "You're really doing this." She reached across the console, covering his hand with hers, careful, deliberate, grounding. "I told you, I'm not running from you, and I'm not running from this." The muscle in his jaw eased. He turned their hands and intertwined their fingers, holding tight. They drove for hours, past the city, past the suburbs, past anything familiar, until the roads narrowed and the trees thickened. Dawn was beginning to edge the horizon by the time they pulled up to a remote cabin tucked deep in the woods. No neighbors, no cameras, no eyes, just silence. Olivia stepped out into the crisp morning air, looking up at the pine trees swaying overhead. For the first time in days, maybe even weeks, she felt like she could breathe. Luca opened the cabin door and let her step inside first. Dusty wooden floors, a stone fireplace, old furniture that faintly smelled of cedar and smoke. It felt forgotten, timeless, and safe. "We can stay here for a few days," Luca said quietly, "long enough to regroup, plan our next move." She nodded, then she turned to him. He looked exhausted. Bruised knuckles, dried blood on his shirt, smoke still clinging to his hair, but his eyes were clear, and they were on her. Olivia stepped closer, close enough to feel the warmth of him in the cool morning air. "Come here," she whispered. He didn't need to be asked twice. He lifted a hand to her face, thumb brushing the line of her cheekbone, gentle, like she was something precious. She leaned into his touch, eyes fluttering closed for the smallest second. "When I thought I lost you," he began. She cut him off with a soft shake of her head. "You didn't." He swallowed hard, and she could see the emotion he never let anyone else see. Then she leaned up and kissed him. Not rushed, not frantic, not desperate like before. Slow, deep, and certain. The kind of kiss meant for beginnings, not endings. His arms came around her, pulling her in, and she melted into him, breathing him in, letting everything else fall away. The chase, the fear, the fire, the world outside. Just them. They didn't need words after that. They moved together, slow, warm, and unhurried, learning each other in the quiet morning light. Touches like promises, whispered breaths like vows. Not possession, not escape, and not danger, just them. When they finally sank into the blankets on the old cabin bed, Olivia rested her head on Luca's chest, his heart beating steady beneath her ear. For the first time in a very long time, neither of them was running. The cabin was quiet, maybe too quiet. Olivia was sitting on the porch steps, sipping coffee from a chipped mug when the silence shifted. Not a sound so much as a change in the air. Luca stepped outside, pulling on his shirt, eyes narrowing instantly. "You feel that?" he asked. Olivia didn't respond. She didn't need to. She was already standing, mug abandoned. A twig snapped in the woods. Luca grabbed her hand inside, now. But it was already too late. A voice rang through a megaphone, distorted but unmistakable. "Olivia Carter, come out with your hands up." The task force. Hundreds of miles from where they were supposed to be. They had been found. Olivia's body tensed. "He tracked us. Rhodes." "No," Luca's voice was cold, steel. You were tracked. There was no time to deal with the sting of that. He pulled her toward the back door, old wood emergency escape already mapped out from when they arrived. They ducked through the trees, moving fast but silent, Luca's hand gripping hers the whole way. Shouting erupted behind them. A dog barked, branches snapped. They ran harder. Down a ravine, across a creek, into a thick pine brake where the world muffled. Only when they had distance, real distance, did they stop. Both breathing hard, but neither letting go. Luca pressed his forehead to hers for half a second, a grounding, a promise. Then he pulled a burner phone from his jacket. We're going to the contact. Now. They reached an abandoned factory on the city outskirts, the same place Olivia used to run rookie training drills. Rusted windows, concrete dust, empty echoing halls. The IA contact, Agent Niles, was already waiting, arms folded, expression tense. You weren't supposed to lead him here, Niles said sharply. Carter, we don't have long. Rhodes is spinning this to make you look like you switched sides. I didn't, she said. Her voice didn't shake. We can prove. She never finished. A gunshot ripped through the room. Niles jerked, one clean bullet through the ribs, and collapsed to the floor. Olivia froze. Luca didn't. He tackled her behind a pillar just as Rhodes strode into view, gun drawn, face calm, like he hadn't just murdered a federal agent. And behind him, more agents. Guns raised, ready to fire. Rhodes smirked. Look at that. I show up and find Morietti and Carter at the scene of a federal murder. How tragic. Olivia's stomach turned. That's not what this is, she hissed, voice shaking with fury. Rhodes didn't look at her. He looked at Luca. You should have stayed the monster everyone already believed you were. Would have been easier. Luca's jaw clenched, but he didn't move, not with Olivia beside him. Rhodes raised his gun and Luca calmly spoke. Smile for the camera. Rhodes froze. What? Luca lifted his hand slightly, revealing a small black recording device clipped inside his jacket. A live feed light blinking. Red. Recording everything. Rhodes' face drained of color. You son of a... Drop the gun, Luca said. For the first time since it started, Rhodes hesitated. Agents around him faltered, unsure now, looking between Rhodes, Olivia, and Luca like puzzle pieces no longer matched. Everything hung in a razor-thin second of silence. Olivia's heart was pounding so hard it hurt. Luca's fingers brushed hers, just enough to say, we move together.